So just in case anyone is sitting out in the audience right now thinking to themselves, so what's with the Ellen DeGeneres knockoff as our keynote speaker? I only dance for money. She makes a little bit more than I do per year, so yeah. So just in case anyone was sitting there thinking that, or maybe whispering it to the person beside them, I think I'll start off by reintroducing myself and telling you a little bit about myself. So before I got into this line of work, of writing and speaking about, seeing the lighter side of stuff, I actually did do stand-up comedy, as Lena mentioned. I did stand-up comedy for about 5 years. I did a lot of work at like comedy clubs. Have you guys ever been to a Yuck Yucks or something before? Yeah, so I would tour around mostly Ontario, and I used to work at a lot of comedy clubs, and I traveled to very glamorous places such as Peterborough and Chatham. Yeah, and throughout my 5 years of doing stand-up at clubs, I also toured across Canada for 3 different summers doing 3 different one-woman shows. So that was my time in comedy, and I experienced a little success. As much success as you can experience doing stand-up comedy for 5 years in Canada. So I got a few free meals and a sweet discount on the domestic beer at the bar. That's about as good as it got. But sure, I experienced a little success, sure. Now, it was around the 5-year mark in comedy. The year was 2003, and I literally woke up one day and I decided to quit. Yep, the fame and the paparazzi attention just got to be too much, everybody. Hardly felt safe, feared for my family. You know how it goes for comedians in Canada. So right now you can pretty much assume that I'm lying to you people, which I am. That was a lie. Okay, so I'll be truthful now. The real reason I decided to leave stand-up comedy, this thing that I thought I was going to do forever, was because I took myself and my work far too seriously. I will pause now in my story and give you an opportunity to choke on the irony of that last statement. So, after 5 years of trying, but kind of, experiencing this pain and suffering, at one point in 2003, I quit. I threw in the towel. I decided, that it was time that I better try something else. You see, at that point in my life, I really believed it was all them and nothing to do with me. You see, I didn't understand this idea about the pain and suffering that comes from listening to and believing our thoughts. I really thought it was everything that was going around me. That's what was the case, right? That's what was causing my pain and suffering. So I thought, if I just left this job, if I left this career, then I would feel better. So I thought quitting and going somewhere else was going to give me this daily experience that I was really, really craving. So I threw in the towel. I quit. Now, has anyone else here ever done that before in their lives? When, the daily experience just wasn't working for you. And so, maybe one morning you just woke up and said, screw it, I'm out of here. Maybe you said that to your first husband or wife. Oh, we got a thumbs up back there. Right on, sister. Now, for the purposes of today, we'll just focus on professional situations. But I don't know, if there's someone here who, again, the daily experience just wasn't working for you, so you decided maybe to, I don't know, maybe you changed boards, or maybe you changed positions, or maybe you, at one point, maybe further back in your history, you actually changed careers. Is there anyone here who's kind of made that switch because it wasn't working for you? Anyone here? Is anybody thinking about doing that later today? Sorry. Oh, December 21st, okay. I'm hoping that's a retirement day. Okay. I saw a couple hands go up in the back, and so I think there are a couple people who've done that in their life. Now, I don't have time to interview you, so I'm just going to give you a general shout-out and say that I hope you had a backup plan. Backup plans are good. I see that now. Because I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do next. That's how badly I was suffering. That's how much I felt like I needed to really change up my external circumstances and surroundings. I didn't even have anything to go to. Now, thankfully in this lifetime, when one door shuts, another door, inevitably opens. I think we all have past data, past evidence that proves that statement. I think we also have past data or past evidence that proves that endings are also very much beginnings. I mean, isn't everything in this world a cycle, really? It's a continuum. There's really no straight lines ever. Thankfully, in this lifetime, I wasn't playing in the traffic for very long. Because a few weeks after leaving stand-up comedy, this thing that I really thought I was going to do for the rest of my life, I landed a job working in a human resources department in the Ontario government. It's where all the greats go. So I went from stand-up comedy to, sit-down comedy. Actually, as I was sitting there, at my desk, in this government office, I was looking around at what was going on, and I thought to myself, I shouldn't have left stand-up comedy. I've got so much more new material. So timing is everything in this life, isn't it? I was sitting there in my first few weeks, and I was telling myself and believing the thought that this change in my life was nothing more than, the random act of a washed-up comedian. Yeah. Like, even though there is that idea, there's that concept that everything is well-timed, well-planned, well-orchestrated, and very, very purposeful for our evolution. You know how there's that idea that everything happens for a reason? Yeah. As I was sitting there experiencing this change in my life, I pretty much started to think that maybe just this one time in my life, the universe just simply messed up. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling. Have you ever had that feeling? I don't know if something, that happened at work, a real big change in your professional life or in your personal life, and you're standing there kind of, amongst the ashes, and you're pretty sure that the universe, the God, the angels are just as shocked and confused as you are. Have you ever had that feeling? I had that feeling for a really long time. I was pretty sure that my angels were looking down at me, sitting there at that desk, kind of saying to themselves, "Oh, crap. Who put the comedian in the cubicle? Oh, no. This is a huge mistake, everybody. Who did this? Oh, man. No, this wasn't supposed to happen, guys. Here, come here. Look. Look at this. The poor thing doesn't even know how to cut and paste. Come on, baby. Remember the right click. It's all there for you. Why don't more people remember the right click? It's always, Oh, look at that now. She's crying. I don't know if you've ever had that feeling. Like, maybe other things in your life, turned out for the best. That was a gift, that it did happen for a reason. But you're standing there in that moment, and you're pretty sure that this is the one time you're just going down. This woman who was working with me in the human resources department, she was on a committee of people who were organizing an annual conference, much like the day that you're having together. Yeah, it was a day for everybody to get together, have a conference, and that particular year, the theme of the conference was wellness. Remember when wellness was like the thing? Yes, this is back when wellness was the thing. Okay, so the conference was wellness. So this committee of people asked my colleague to come to me one day, representing them, and asked me to put on a comical presentation all about the major aspects of wellness. Yes, let's go ask the depressed girl in the corner. Come on, little one. Shine your light over here, why don't you? Yeah, what this committee of people really didn't understand was that I was still pretty fresh out of comedy. I was still smoking and drinking quite heavily. I was not exactly the poster child for wellness. I was maybe just a solid example of what not to do. But they came and they asked me. Well, Janice did, representing the committee. She came to me and she asked me. She asked me to do this presentation. My knee-jerk reaction was to say no. I mean, I hadn't exercised in about 12 years. But what happened was I didn't say no. What happened was I kind of slowed everything down. I don't know if you guys have ever done this before in your life. I slowed everything down. I took a step back and I looked at kind of the big picture. And when I did that, I had this huge epiphany. I thought to myself, you know what this opportunity means? You know what this means? A day out of the office. So I said yes. But I looked at Janice and I said, but you're coming with me. Well, I was, thinking about a two-hander. She'd be the straight man. Yeah, so anyway, after a few weeks, Janice and I, preparing for this conference, we showed up sporting matching headbands, wielding water bottles, and we put on the rollicking good time known as Live Well, Laugh Lots, a crash course in building a healthy workday. Ding. Everyone really liked it. So what happened was we started to get phone calls and emails from different parts of the Ontario government asking us to come and do Live Well, Laugh Lots at all kinds of events. I was elated. Janice was mortified. So there we were. We were off doing Live Well, Laugh Lots at all kinds of different Ontario government events. When I told my mother what was going on, she said, Susan, leave it to you to go get a government job and still manage to go out on tour. And well, as you can tell, the tour has never stopped. It has evolved greatly. At one point, Janice stepped away. And with her blessing, let me keep the title, which you may have seen at the beginning in my first slide. It happens now to be sentimentally called Live Well, Laugh Lots.